Everything Everywhere All at Once, directed by Kwan and Scheinert. And this film is from the same creators who brought us Swiss Army Man, which was another pretty wild film, and that was their feature debut. And the film stars Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis. So this movie is about a woman who has to save the world by exploring many alternate timelines that she could have lived once she discovers the multiverse. So I personally have not seen a very accurate logline of this movie just yet, just because it's so complex, but I think this was pretty decent as far as the basics go. I had so many thoughts flowing through my head after I saw this movie initially, and the directors actually used the term cosmic gumbo to describe this movie in particular. And without a doubt, it is absolutely that. So the film follows this mother named Evelyn Wong, played by Yeoh, who is just the main pillar throughout her family, just basically holding everything up. You know, she's just trying to keep her laundromat business afloat. She's trying to keep her marriage together. And although she's wearing all of these hats throughout her family, there's still one very important key element within her life that she is neglecting. And that one key element is actually what causes her to be called upon to have to save the world in the multiverse. And from there, this movie just turns into a car. Just stick with me for a second. This movie turns into a car that flies off the side of a damn bridge, and instead of landing in the water down below, imagine this car heading through a portal and then falling on a pile of bloody marshmallows. And yes, I know that sounds completely fucking ridiculous, but that is the most accurate description that I can give you for this film. That's Everything Everywhere All at Once. And it sounds bizarre, but it's damn good. It's a tornado of bizarre shit coming at your face. And this film has very strong Kung Fu Hustle vibes, honestly. I mean, that's what I got from it. But it goes several steps deeper emotionally and comedically at the same time. I mean, there was clearly so much passion put into this project and a shit ton of ingenuity. Like, there's a video on YouTube where the directors discuss seeking the right filming locations and having to shoot certain scenes thousands of miles away from each other using Zoom due to the pandemic. And it's so crazy because once you see this movie and you see how it was shot and you see all the different themes and ridiculous, bizarre stuff, that the shit that's just happening is so imaginative that it was so wild to think that they could shoot a lot of this stuff using an iPhone over Zoom thousands of miles away from each other. Like, it's just crazy impressive. I mean, really, there's honestly a lot that I could say about this movie. It's a beautifully crafted film, but at the same time, it's just so insane. But I'm willing to bet you right now, and if I'm wrong, you know, feel free to come back to this video later and let me know this, but I'm willing to bet you guys that this is going to be the most insane, bizarre film that you'll watch this year. And we're not even halfway through the year yet, and I'm willing to bet right now, I'm already calling it, that this will be the craziest film you watch this year, the most bizarre film. And let me say this as well, surprisingly bizarre is what I mean. I don't mean something like Jackass where you're going into it and you know it's going to be some crazy shit. I mean something that you're not expecting to get that type of vibe from, and then you go into it and it's a surprise. That's what I mean. And also I have to point out that Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie she was very impressive as well. Very fun performance, very badass, hilarious throughout this movie. So different from what we've seen her do in the past. It's like she's really just having fun with her career now, and it's so dope. But she actually does a lot of her own stunts. Well, I don't know if it's a lot of her own stunts, but there's a few stunts. There's a few things that you'll see in this movie that you actually won't believe that she did herself. Now, of course, you know, she was hooked to the harness. They had wires and all of that stuff hooked to her, but she was actually doing some of these things herself. So there you go, fun fact. And something else that I actually mentioned already in my Straight Outta Theater reaction is that it does a good job at meshing several different themes together. I mean, as much as this film ventures out into so many different genres, even then it's still able to maintain a clear goal, and it never really loses the current mood or emotional status of the characters or the ambiance of a scene. Like, I mean, there's so many things happening simultaneously throughout the film, but you're still able to stay focused on actually what's happening. This is truly a film that can bring tears to your eyes. I mean, whether you're laughing or crying from sadness, it can make you cringe and all of these different feelings and emotions. And because it's able to give us such an original, imaginative experience while watching a film, which we haven't been able to get something like this so balanced in a very long time, I gotta give Everything Everywhere All at Once a 10 out of 10. The way that they were able to balance all of this non-stop commotion that this film throws in your face was just tremendously impressive. The cinematography was incredibly strategic and imaginative. And I know I keep using a lot of these words over and over, but I promise you once you see it, you'll know exactly what I mean because it is very true. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this film again. Pretty soon actually in theaters. So yeah, currently this film is just on a limited release. So that's why you're going to be seeing people talk about it, but you're not really going to see it playing possibly near you maybe. And if you don't see that, that's because this film actually does not release until April 8th worldwide. So yeah, this is one you definitely want to go see. Trust me, it's going to be a film you enjoy. But there you have it. And if you enjoyed the content, you know what to do. Thank you for watching.